Good morning, everyone. I'm walking down the hill to the spring. Need to refill our water, filter some more. I hear it's only a trickle, but we'll take what we can get because there's not a lot of water sources between here and Duncannon. So we gotta make sure we have enough to go 12 miles today. That's one of the things about the trail. You really have to be cognizant of what sources of water you have. And one thing we found out, we've met other hikers along the way going in opposite directions, and they'll give you pointers on where to find water, you know, what springs are flowing, what springs are not flowing. Because as you get into June and July, a lot of these springs dry up, and you may be counting on water, and you get there and there is no water. So water is very important. I'm sorry I'm talking kind of funny because I'm trying to watch my footing here. There's a lot of rocks. As you can see, a lot of rocks on the trail. And I don't want to fall. So anyway, we met two ladies yesterday, and we were talking to them, and of course they always ask where you're going and whatever, and they said about a mile before the campground there's a spring that's running pretty good. She said make sure you fill up your water there because there's not much water at the campground. So we did that last night, and we had plenty for supper and for breakfast. And even though we filled up our water jugs, we still drink a lot, so you always have to refill everything in the morning. So that's what I'm doing. And this one's way down this hill. I didn't think it was going to be this far, but it is. So I'll get my legs working early this morning. Okay. Should be coming up on it. There we go. The trail got better. Walking through poison ivy. Oh no, that's not poison ivy. And look at that. It says spring. And let's see what it looks like. Oh, that's not too bad. I've seen worse than that. Cool, clear water. Just what we need. So I'm going to fill up my bucket and I'll get back with you later. To fill up our bucket, our flexible bucket, and then we hook a filter to it. Let gravity do the work. So, this is going really good. I thought it would be much less of a flow than this. I think we're good. Ooh. And there it is. Look at that. Water. Cool. Good morning, everyone. It is, what day is it? I don't know. It looks like it's June 5, I think. The 35th day on the trail? 34th day on the trail. I don't know. You lose track of time and what day it is. I think it's Monday, if I remember right. But when you're out here in the woods, time doesn't matter, days don't matter. It's just you're out here in the woods enjoying yourself. So we made it to Darlington shelter last night. Nice little shelter. Found a really nice campsite. No rocks for a change. So we slept well. We had a nice dinner and then we slept well. There was another older couple attending by us. We talked to him this morning. His trail name is Hong Kong Fooey, and his wife is Dory. And we talked to him this morning for a while we were fixing breakfast. Real nice guy. He's retired. He retired last September. And they've been traveling around. Decided to do some of the trail. They're southbound. We're northbound, so they gave us some tips on places to stay in Duncannon. We're coming into Duncannon today. There's a famous hotel there. It's called the Doyle Hotel. It was built in the, I guess, in the 1700s, and then it burned, and it was rebuilt in the early 1900s. It's an icon, I guess, for hikers, but it's very old, very run down. We watched some videos on it, and they don't do a very good job keeping it clean, and it's dusty, and we decided, you know, I don't think we're going to stay there. We even read some reviews where people got bit by spiders. Supposedly got a really nice restaurant, but I tell you what, we're not going to stay in the hotel. They gave us a tip on the Red Carpet Inn, which is about 2.5 miles out of town. They have a shuttle. They'll come and pick you up for $10, take you to the grocery store if you need to resupply, take you to the hotel. It's $60 a night for two, which isn't bad. The guy said it's clean, it's old, it's a family mom and pop operation, but he says it's a decent place to stay. So I think we're going to stay there tonight. They are talking about rain today, possible thunder showers, so we may be walking in some rain, but at least we'll be sleeping inside tonight if it rains. That's pretty much it. Not a lot of water sources between here and Duncannon, so we're making sure we got our water supply filled up for the day. And we're going to be walking some ridge lines. It shouldn't be too bad, some ups and downs, but I think we'll do just fine. I'm tired, my feet hurt, my knees hurt, but they get better when I start walking. So that's good. We just got to keep on moving down the line. So I guess that's it for now. The sound of the spring going here makes me want to pee, so I got to go do that. So I guess we'll catch you down the trail. One thing I find interesting on the trail is the various sizes and shapes and types of privies that we see. This one is huge. It's known as the Taj Mahal on the trail. You even have a little moon in the door. It's just one big room. It's a two-seater. They use one seat at a time. Let the other one compost. My privy of the day. There you go. We'll catch you on down the trail. This is the Taj Mahal. Just what everyone wants to see, the inside of a privy. But this is a big one. Lots of room. Anyway, I thought I'd share. We'll catch you on down the trail. Well, we just came out of the tree line and we're back in the fields. Starting to rain again, of course. Oh, it's really light, so it shouldn't be too bad. You just got to keep walking down the trail. You're either wet with rain or you're wet with sweat, so one smells better than the other. That's about it. It's kind of cool the way the trail keeps changing. Never know what to expect. It looks like we're going to head down along this tree line for a while. Yeah. And we're heading towards, I don't know if that's the mountain, but there's some mountains on the other side of this tree line, so we'll catch you down the trail. So I see we're coming over this rise. And on the other side is the mountains we're heading for. Looks like we got another climb coming up. Be one climb up, hopefully, and one climb down to Duncannon. Really pretty. Yep. That's where we're going. Catch you on down the trail. The rocks of Pennsylvania, also known as Rocksylvania. As you can see, you gotta watch where you step, because there's rocks everywhere. And this isn't even the worst part. The worst part is on the eastern end of the state. This is just getting us broken in. Okay, that's enough. I gotta watch where I'm stepping here. I'm gonna fall. We'll catch you on down the trail. Hey, we finally have a decent view. Look it out there. If you look down here, that's the Susquehanna River or something like that. And then we go over here. And way down there is Duncannon, where we're going today. We got about another mile or so to go down the hill. So that's cool. Okay, that's it for now. Hey, we're coming into the town of Duncannon. Crossing the river right now. I'm not sure which river that is, but now we need to find the Doyle Hotel for a beer. We've got our reservation at the Red Carpet Inn. They'll come and pick us up whenever we call. So we're going to have a beer and maybe find a good place to eat. So I'll catch you on down the trail. That's the mountain we just came down. It was a fun climb down through all the rocks. Well, you did have a lot of rock steps, but man, it was tough. Anyway, I deserve a beer. Okay, you can see the building with the tower, or whatever you want to call it, on the corner. That is the Doyle Hotel, a famous hotel for hikers. It's really old, really run down, not kept very clean. The restaurant's supposed to be really good, but the rooms are kind of iffy. I didn't read any good reviews on the rooms, so we're not going to stay there. We're going to stay at the Red Carpet Inn, which sounds much nicer, doesn't it? So anyway, they do have cold beer here, so we are going to have a beer.